All right, the meaning of marriage and divorce, sacrament of matrimony. Watch my finger. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. This refers to a spiritual union, a marriage of the heart. Star asterisk. In our prayer life, it means this: when man reaches absolute conviction that his prayer is answered, this conviction is unshakable. You are joined to your God or your good conviction. The two become one. Those of you who have read my book, Love is Freedom, which dwells at length with marriage, divorce, and how to attract your divine companion, and other articles, are familiar with some of the truths I'm going to elaborate in this chapter. We must realize that God or the truth is not present at many marriages. That's a bold statement. For example, some months ago, I talked to a young lady aged 29 who had been married 9 times. She acquired a husband almost every year, and after a few weeks or months of married life, proceeded to divorce them. The reason for all this was that she was resenting the first husband and had never forgiven him. Therefore, she was attracting men based on her inner state of consciousness. We don't attract what we want in life. We attract according to our state of consciousness. In my English, we don't attract what we want in life. We attract what we are in life. You can readily see what her state of consciousness was. She was full of resentment, ill will, and bitterness. The subconscious multiplies whatever we meditate on and gives us compound interest. Therefore, each of her husbands was progressively worse. How often is a marriage a real sacrament, meaning a spiritual union? How often is it really a legal ceremony against which the parties to the contract begin to chafe in a few weeks? Remember, you marry a state of consciousness. Ooh! When there is a true spiritual union between two people God hath joined, there is no divorce, for none is wanted. They blend spiritually, mentally, and physically. This is the biblical or spiritual way to pray for a companion or wife. Close your eyes, be still, think clearly with the intent on the qualities and attributes you admire in a woman. Feel that you are now married to such a woman. Know and believe that infinite intelligence within you is irresistibly attracting to you the right companion. Infinite intelligence takes over when you pray this way and attracts to you a woman who is the image and the likeness of the ideal in which you meditated. This is visioning, okay? You will harmonize perfectly, and there will be mutual love, freedom, and respect. This is called the marriage made in heaven, or peace and understanding. The marriage made in heaven is what I was referring to in my last video when I said, this is not the woman that I find myself seeing when I meditate, be still, and know the Lord. Because God will let you know what's coming before it comes. And that's how I recognize that I know more of the qualities in which my partner, who is for me, really carries. Now let's continue. Many people enter marriage without ever praying for guidance or right action. Marriage, to be real, must first be spiritual. There must be a union of two hearts. Many women say to me, oh, I want to get married for security, or I want a home. This attitude of mine is not correct. Men marry sometimes because a girl is pretty, or she has a lot of money or political influence. Such marriages are false because they are not founded on love, which is the movement of the heart. This is marriage in spirit, meaning that you are equally yoked from the quality of your values, morals, and principles. The mere fact that they are married in the church does not sanctify the marriage or make it real. Come on, brother. Recently, I talked with a woman who was deceived and tricked by her husband. He told her prior to marriage that he was a representative for Eastern Concern, that he was single, and that he belonged to her church organization, etc. All lies. It turned out that he was an ex-convict, a wife beater, and was living with another woman when he married her. She had advanced him some money, which is what he married her for. She thought it was a sin to get a divorce, yet she longed for freedom and peace of mind. I explained to her she was not really married at all, that such a marriage was simply a sham, a mockery, and that she was living a lie. She proceeded to get a divorce immediately and dissolved this fraudulent marriage. Marriage is an accord of divine ideals, a harmony and purity of purpose. Harmony, honesty, love, and integrity must prevail in the minds and hearts of both husband and wife. If there were a needle in your thumb, you would recognize that needle does not belong in your thumb, but in the pincushion. Likewise, there are cases of hopeless incompatibility where two people do not belong together any more than fish belongs on land. Come on, Lord. It is much better to break up a lie than to live a lie. I recall the case of a young girl during the war who got highly intoxicated one evening and found herself with a marriage certificate next morning. She had married a native of one of the islands. She was shocked beyond words and had to get psychiatric treatment. The answer, of course, was to dissolve the marriage immediately. Marriage is not a permit by the state for abuse, cruelty, or torture. Marriage is a union of two. Oh, let me move this magic. These are two souls seeking their way to the heart of reality. Each is married to God or good, and they see the Christ or presence of God in each other. The Bible says, whosoever put away his wife except it be for fornication, and shall marry another committeth adultery. And whoso marrieth her, hold on, Lord, help me with this English, Lord. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away doth commit adultery. Matthew 19:9. The word adultery means to unite with negative and false concepts of any kind. We are performing mental marriage acts. Psychologically speaking, man's wife is what he is conscious of being, what he feels as true of himself, his inner conviction or estimate of himself. From this concept or belief about himself, children, such as health, conditions, experiences, and events are born and expressed. I performed a marriage ceremony for a wonderful young couple in the Middle West one time. In about a month's time, they separated and the wife returned to her parents' home. What happened to their romance? I'm talking to the young man and I found he was practicing adultery or fornication all day long. Adultery means idolatry or worship of false gods, giving attention to negative concepts in the mind, forsaking the worship of the one spiritual power within, which is the only cause and only power. The young man said to me, every day I kept thinking that she would run around with other men. I was jealous of her. I did not trust her. I began to imagine that she was with former boyfriends and I was full of fear that I would lose her. He was fornicating in the sense that he was uniting with evil in his mind. The word fornicate means to mentally engage or go along with destructive thoughts and destructive imagination or imagery. Job says, what I fear most has come upon me. The young man was imagining evil about his wife and cohabiting with fear, jealousy, and loss. He had broken his marriage vows, wherein he promised to cherish, love, and honor her at all times, and forsaking all others to remain faithful to her alone. So Joseph Murphy is realizing, or he's helping us realize the quality of what's happening inside of our mind in context to how we arrange our thinking, because our thinking is a byproduct of where we are choosing to trust. Our thinking is a byproduct of where we are choosing to place our attention and to sow our seeds of thought. And so basically in this illustration, he was saying that this man was cheating on his wife, not by sleeping in the bed with another woman, but by presuming in his mind that his wife was doing the same exact thing that he didn't want to be done. That means he's investing his time and energy and focus on an outcome that's outside of the concept or the jurisdiction of what their marriage is. It would be just the same as if he was laying in the bed with another woman, because in his mind, he has his wife in the bed with another man. See, so when we're talking about marriage, we're really saying that the union of spiritual alignment. And that's what I really liked about this.